It's kind of hard to explain, but...
Is it dangerous?
Maybe. And it's not just fog either.
Okay, I got it. I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
Did they fix this scene? Grifters get fucked again. Alright, interesting. So we have a criticism sucks mini. And we're gonna let this guy riff off and talk about how Angela was prior in the trailer of the Silent Hill 2 remake and how they felt she was ugly, DEI influenced, all that jazz. Just a lot of foul and condescending stuff really about the character model of Angela. And we're going to hit this with rationality because we have some fun planned for debunking this one. So let's let this guy talk about how DEI infested Angela's face and made her the worst looking thing of all time. Here we go.
Gaming industry, I guess, but that is why we see changes like this in these games. Somebody is in these developers' ears telling them that if you make a female character who actually looks attractive, then somehow that will lead to poorer sales.
Dude, I don't get it.
All right, now that was a load of conspiracy theory driven bullshit, especially about this situation. All right, and the guy in the tweet is basically fat shaming Angela, so that's also really not good when you think about it. Now listen, I was always like, yeah, in this trailer, this image of Angela's face on the left looks visually inconsistent with the model later on in the trailer. Like, it's other shots where it looked really good, but in the graveyard scene, it looked off. And what I basically amounted this situation to was the fact that it looks relatively unfinished. It seems that people don't understand when going from, you know, beta concepts and previous builds and final, when you move from that concept to final game, you happen to fix things, alter things, touch up on things, and make things look better from what is essentially an older build. You want to know how I know that? Let me show you. Just let it marinate for a bit before I show you, alright? Huzzah! Here it is. The DEI smoking gun. You see the graveyard scene on the left where, you know, the foliage in the background is relatively not detailed. You can tell between the two there is some darker atmosphere with the fog. On the right, more detailed shirt. On the right, more detailed hair physics. On the right, more detailed shadows. On the right. So you see what I'm saying, going from the beta concept to final, you know, better angles and whatnot, that all along, all these people making these overtly pretentious arguments about this and that about Angela specifically was just nothing but smoke and mirrors and the acceleration of game development. When more details are added, even the pants has more detail, as you can see on the right. And all people kind of had to do was wait it out, you know, before just jumping on this weird bandwagon of a lot of misinformation. And now I know there's going to be people that move the goalpost to, oh, well, you know, Maria is conservatively dressed and she has more clothes on and she has no belly button, navel, etc. Now, listen to me when I say this, because you never know. Remember when the RE remakes had classic renditions of the costumes, and you had to, it was closer to launch before finding that out, and more details came out. Let's wait and see at launch if there is a classic outfit for Maria or James. Let's wait and see before jumping a gun. Like, let's just give it a little chance to marinate, all right? I know I love using that word, but let's wait and see if that happens. And if they have a classic outfit, hypothetically speaking, I'm not confirming anything. I don't work for Konami, so I wish people would stop fucking thinking that bullshit. But if they hypothetically have a classic outfit for Maria, then you can't complain about that either. You've whined this whole campaign about absolutely nothing. And I said this myself for Angela's sake. I said, basically, it's an unfinished model, an unfinished scene, and it was like that the whole time. And everyone harped on this. You can see the foliage. You can see Angela looks more detailed. You can see the fog looks a little bit more denser. You can see that, you know, this is final versus the unfinished version. Even a commenter said she looks much better now, showing that, hey, camera angles, adjustments, and listening to, what is that word? You know, when you guys harped on James's face, feedback can do a hell of a lot of difference to some of these characters. And I didn't even have a problem with the original James and his face. They remodel his whole ass, right? But Angela's face is still relatively the same. It's just a lot more visually consistent and detailed than before. So all of these weird arguments, these condescending, judgmental, DEI, she looks like a cheeseburger, all that other stuff, it doesn't even fly now, because she doesn't even look less detailed like this in the final game. It kind of shows how idiotic some of these grifters are. It kind of shows how they want to jump the gun immediately without further thinking. And this all leads to the chains of misinformation every single time. This is Renegade Operative. I am signing out. I just find the situation hilarious. And again, it goes what I was saying. I don't get why people want to glam up the sexual assault survivor. It's kind of strange. I can get normal criticism of this scene originally when the face was less detailed and inconsistent with the rest of the trailer, but now it kind of doesn't fly because they literally adjusted the whole scene with the same face, and now it looks more visually consistent with the trailer where her face looked much better. This is kind of why I just don't jump the gun like this on fucking faces and all that other shit until more information comes out and you visually see it for yourself. But like I said before, I'm gonna end the video here because, well, that's just another L in the pocket of all these DEI screechers. I'm Renegade Operative for real this time. Signing out. See you guys next time. Later.